Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised. Everyone makes mistakes, but some people are dumb enough to make them on camera. A foolish flyer hooks up to a snowmobile and becomes a real-life crash test dummy. A fired-up father jumps for joy when hot pants come back in style. This pair of second-rate speedboat racers has everything they need to win, except seatbelts. A dim-witted daredevil discovers these sheds aren't all they're cracked up to be. Plus, why in the world would this man climb down his own chimney?
I'm stupid.
You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll be glad it's not you. It's stupid behavior caught on tape.
It's a blustery day at this airfield as 75-year-old thrill-seeker Bob prepares for his very first skydive.
First and last.
But Bob needn't be worried. He'll be strapped securely to the back of a certified skydiving instructor.
He's my partner. He's my lifeline.
Due to his teacher's extensive experience, the final rehearsal goes off without a hitch. And after a flawless ascent, they're ready to jump. At last, it's time for Bob's big moment. They position themselves carefully. And there they go! And here they stay. Looks like the expert forgot to unfasten his seatbelt, and now he's flying by the seat of his pants. And poor Bob's dangling 10,000 feet up. The instructor struggles to pull Bob back into the plane, but there's too much wind. So the man holding the camera comes to the rescue with a good, swift kick. Not surprisingly, that doesn't work. So he resorts to plan B. He cuts them loose with a knife. And with great relief, the men glide to a safe landing. Still shaken, Bob sums up his harrowing ordeal.
That's weird. God, I couldn't see. I couldn't hear anything. I didn't know what was happening. I was just dangling out there.
And what about the absent-minded instructor? If he wants to keep his job, he'd better not leave any more of his students hanging. When Mark Vaughn locked himself out of the house, he got stuck trying to shimmy down the chimney. Luckily, the fire department arrived in the nick of time. After hours of hitting the bricks, rescue workers finally free the trapped man. How did Mark's foolproof plan go so wrong?
I'm kind of pudgy when I got down there, and the opening looked like I would be able to get through it. And next thing I know, stuck like Chuck.
But incredibly, the tight squeeze resulted in a rare moment of clarity.
I was all the way down to the bottom. Then I realized.
What could his mind-blowing revelation possibly have been?
I'm stupid.
No. And what else did Mark learn on his little adventure?
Listen to your mother-in-law. Don't climb down chimneys. And probably that I need to lose weight.
And maybe carrying a spare key isn't a bad idea either. This woman is learning how to pilot a speedboat.
I tell you to turn. Aye.
But she's about to get a lesson she'll never forget.
Hey, move over to your left.
Seems the captain forgot to tell his first mate the first rule of boating. Wear a seatbelt. Thankfully, both are wearing life preservers. Because the boat is racing away with no one at the helm. Maybe next time this clueless teacher thinks about giving a lesson,
Straight now.
he'll remember to buckle up. The only thing Hank Schiffer loves more than his dogs is breakfast. But Hank's a few eggs shy of an omelet. So he herds his hounds into the van and heads for the market. But his favorite shortcut is flooded.
They had some city workers saying, stop, don't go through. I usually don't pay too much attention to that because they usually over-exaggerate, and I didn't feel like going all the way around.
So he ignores their warnings and takes the plunge right into a sinkhole, leaving Hank with a sinking feeling. Now he's really got to scramble to get out. Fortunately, Hank, his dogs, and even his van survive.
They used 2 tow trucks, one with a boom to raise it high.
But always optimistic, Hank sees the bright side. At least they fixed his favorite shortcut. A family gathers to celebrate Dad's new raise. But he's sitting a little too close to the fireplace. And now that paycheck is burning a hole in his pocket. Luckily, he finds a seat in a nearby bathtub that's more to his liking. This working stiff has always been a good provider for his family. But he never thought he'd have money to burn.
Coming up, this genius hooks himself to a snowmobile and gets a crash course in hang gliding.
Oh!
Plus, a dim-witted daredevil takes his SUV out for a spin.
Oh, shoot.
And later, when a cameraman gets too close to a killer tornado, he's struck by the awesome power of Mother Nature. And by a bolt of lightning. When stupid behavior caught on tape continues.
Matt Anderson of St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, has a dream to soar like a bird. There's only one problem.
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights. It's mostly the fear of falling from the heights.
Regardless, Matt buys a used 30-year-old hang glider from a total stranger for $25. He tries running, but he can't get enough lift, so his flight is grounded. But Matt's no quitter, so he tethers himself to the back of a snowmobile. But that doesn't work either.
I didn't have any instruction at all.
Hard to believe. But the third time's a charm. The driver guns the engine, and Matt soars triumphantly into the sky. But what goes up must come down.
There's problems.
I hit the ground really hard.
Maybe that's because it was frozen. A medevac helicopter comes to the rescue.
I feel pretty good right now.
All right.
And Matt's dream finally comes true. He's flying. Thankfully, Matt's okay, but his soaring days are over. This bird brain's wings have been clipped. The man in this car is picking up his mistress for a midday liaison, unaware that a private investigator hired by his suspicious wife is capturing the tryst on tape. The duo drives to a motel to begin their romantic rendezvous. The cheater goes to check in. But instead of returning with a room key, all he's got is bad news. It seems he forgot to reserve a room. And unless they want to get busy in the back seat, they're going to have to get busy finding another motel. So they hit the highway to search for another love nest. But they won't be shacking up at this chateau either. It's booked too. They drive from motel to motel, but it seems this city doesn't have a single vacancy. Looks like their nooners turning into a midnight run. Hours later, the tired couple finally gets lucky, a few counties away. At first, the key gets stuck, so he starts banging on the door. And eventually, they get in. But in their haste to hit the sheets, they foolishly forget to close the curtains, and the PI gets it all on tape. Now there's another problem. After a long day of driving, it seems Romeo here doesn't have the strength left to perform. But he's learned his lesson. Maybe spending less time driving for sex will enhance his sex drive. A freight train speeds down the track near Toledo, Ohio. But a closer look reveals a scary sight. No one is at the throttle. A half-witted controller fell asleep at the switch down at the train yard, and now this locomotive is on the loose. And to make matters worse, it's pulling tanker cars filled with highly flammable liquid.
We observed several cars that were tanker cars that were displaying hazardous material placards.
So how do you stop a treacherous train that's traveling faster than a speeding bullet? You use a speeding bullet.
I used a buckshot round to attempt to engage the fuel safety shutoff switch.
Turns out the guy who let the train get loose in the first place called Sergeant Glenn with a direct order: shoot to kill. And guess what? Doesn't work. So the train speeds on, until finally a hero comes forward, willing to risk his own life to stop this menace. And he chickens out. So someone else has to do it. Another man jumps aboard, makes his way into the engineer's cabin, and with a mighty pull of the throttle, brings the Iron Giant to a halt, much to the relief of Sergeant Glenn.
I did not want to go through this situation again.
And it's not likely he'll be asked to. Because the only thing that got derailed today was the train controller's career. These fun-loving friends are as thick as the mud they're stuck in. While videotaping their off-road outing, they attempt to climb this incredibly steep hill. It's an uphill battle. But they don't stop. These bozos keep going.
Oh, don't get stuck there, dude.
Now their camera's not the only thing that's rolling.
Oh, shoot.
At least the truck's owner is taking it well. Fortunately, these adventure seekers are fine, except for one little problem. They're stranded in the middle of nowhere. Well, at least now they'll have plenty of time to think about their stupid behavior.
Up next, a foolhardy photographer is fired in a flash when he puts more oil on his model than he does in his car. Plus, these bumbling burglars better be ready for their close-ups because they're robbing a store that sells security cameras. And later, a second-rate shed maker has a new idea for a TV commercial. But it doesn't fly. When stupid behavior caught on tape returns.
On her way home from Chicago's O'Hare Airport, this woman made an illegal turn.
You probably missed it, but there's 4 signs back there that say no left turn.
Oh, don't give me a ticket, honest to God, please.
Oh, wait, before we continue, let me see your driver's license, then maybe we can talk about something.
Well, it's not going to be much of a conversation, because this loony lady won't let the cop get a word in edgewise.
Well, I don't know where it is, okay? It's here, so I
Calm
don't know
down
where it
for a
is.
second so
But
you
I
don't
mean
get...
it, you understand?
It seems she not only lost her license, she's lost her mind.
I'm so mad I can scream right now. I'm so furious.
Okay, what are you doing now?
I don't know, I'm looking for my driver's license. I
let me
can't
close
see
this
it.
door. There's no reason to have the door open. You can get your door taken off.
Do you mind if I take my car apart? Do you mind?
It's your car. You can do whatever you want.
Except maybe shoving her door into this public official's private parts.
I'm like furious. I can't believe I don't have my driver. I know it's here, but I don't know where it is. You understand how furious I am? I need that. Oh!
It turns out that when this woman was at the airport, she left her license behind after writing a check.
Because I went to take my daughter and paid $1, and I had to write a check to O'Hare Parking because I didn't have my money with me.
Wonder why her daughter wanted to leave town.
He gave it back to me. I thought he did. The son of a gun. I don't know. I don't know where it is. He gave it back to me. And I don't know where it is.
It's all right. Don't worry. You don't need it right now. Don't worry about it right now. Well, you don't. Not to get this upset about it.
Well, I do. It pisses me off. You understand?
Calm down for a second.
He gave it back to me. I think he did. I don't know. Maybe he did.
Why don't you...
Although the driver from hell continues her verbal assault, this officer displays the patience of a saint.
Damn it.
Ma'am, grab all your stuff for you.
Oh, who cares?
I don't want it to blow away on you here, ma'am.
Who gives a
Finally, the officer's had enough and tries to silence the motor mouth with a ticket.
Ma'am.
You mean you charged me $75 to make that turn?
I'm not charging you $75, ma'am. That's what the court, that's what the state law says.
I don't have $75.
Maybe she could write a check if she had her ID. Perhaps next time this overwrought woman is pulled over, she should exercise her right to remain silent.
Have a safe day, ma'am.
Gary Kays believes a man's home is his castle. Nothing could get him to leave this little slice of paradise. Not even a killer tornado. During a raging storm, a twister touches down and heads straight for Gary's house.
The newscast said it was a tornado alert, take shelter. So my first reaction was just grab the camera and start filming it.
Good thinking. So while his family huddles in the cellar, Gary marches out onto his front porch. Apparently, he's not struck by the danger of the situation. But he is struck by lightning.
Feel like I struck.
Gary will surely head for safety now. Surely not. Even when the cyclone takes out his neighbor's house, Gary is still not getting the picture. Seconds later, with the twister barreling toward him, a thought nonchalantly crosses Gary's mind. This could be bad.
I opened my other eye up that I wasn't looking through the camera with and realized this is probably the stupidest thing I could have ever done.
Finally, Mr. Spielberg comes to his senses and shuts off the camera. Gary eventually repairs his damaged home and learns a valuable lesson from his electrifying experience.
I'll never do it again. I'll be the first one in the cellar.
For a high-profile magazine ad, a foolish photographer decided it would be a good idea to wax the woman instead of the car. But now she's losing her grip.
Can you hold still for a minute? Great, that's great.
The cameraman can't hide his frustration.
No, stay there, don't move. Stay there, stay there, stay there.
Maybe he should just let it slide. The human hood ornament tries to hold on, but it's no use.
Yeah, I think we'll call it a wrap, and I think maybe we shouldn't oil you down next time.
That's the last time this photographer will ever shoot a slick ad like this. A couple of robbers break into a building and think they've hit the jackpot. The place is packed with boxes of high-tech electronic equipment. Though the crooks try to conceal their faces, they're still caught on camera. 25 different cameras. That's because the company they chose to rob sells security cameras.
Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 in this area alone, and I've got 3 out the back there. I've got another few out the front here. I've got some outside. So you have to be a bloody idiot to break into this store.
When this photogenic thief is featured on the nightly news, he's recognized and turned in by his own mother and invited downtown to pose for mugshots. Seems this outlaw didn't know all the angles after all. While pulling out of a parking space, this man dinged his rental car. Worried he'll be charged for repairs, the penny pincher decides to fix it on his own. Maybe a little gasoline on a bag will clean off the bumper smudge. But he's poking around where he shouldn't, and his finger gets stuck. He tries and tries to get free, but it's no use.
You turn your finger.
Eventually, firemen arrive to help him.
How you doing, Joe?
But they're perplexed. There must be a solution, but no one can quite put their finger on it. The rescuers rip out the entire gas line. Bet he wishes he'd bought that $6 worth of rental insurance now. After a quick lube job, the careless driver is finally freed. The tightwad worried that the damage to his rental car would cost him an arm and a leg. Instead, it nearly cost him a finger.
Have you seen something stupid? Were you smart enough to capture it on tape? Call us at 1-866-7-STUPID or log on to stupidvideo.com and we'll pay you a ridiculous amount of money for your tape. Coming up next, a wannabe daredevil gets his big break on TV. It's our most moronic moment when stupid behavior caught on tape continues.
While shooting a TV commercial, this company goes to great lengths to prove that their garden sheds are absolutely indestructible.
We're standing here in the Western Desert with Tom Tuff of Tuff Sheds.
Tom Tuff wants everyone to know that his product is the bomb.
Think your shed can handle the dynamite?
Are you kidding? Our sheds are tough sheds. And don't take no shit from no one.
Let's check it out. Here's take one.
Whoa! I thought you knew what you were doing!
Hardly the ringing endorsement they were hoping for. But not to worry, Tom's got lots of other great ideas. Take two. This shed should hold up a truck.
Now that's a tough shed!
But now the truck's carting away the shed. Take three. Maybe they need something lighter, like a motorcycle. Finally, it looks like these sheds are tough enough.
Oh!
Or maybe we spoke too soon. Seems the only thing this commercial does is shed some light on their stupid behavior.